Hello guys, can you hear me? Can someone raise the hand if you can hear me well? Okay, good. And thanks for joining the webinar. This is our second webinar. Quick intro from my side. My name is Anto. I'm the CEO and co-founder of the Sportreact. And today I'll talk a little bit more about Sportreact Plus, what you can find over there, what you can expect in the future, a little bit touch the base on the history, how we develop the stuff. And yeah, at the end, we'll have a nice Q&A session. And that's it. For those who are not already familiar with the Sportreact, a quick intro. We build a platform which combines multiple systems in one. Sportreact on one side is an advanced reaction or neurocognitive system. On the other side, we are a timing system. And the beauty of the Sportreact is that we can nicely and easily merge those two systems in a complete reactive agility system. What Sportreact is today. Everything backed with a nice app interface and a lot of data insights that you can find in the app. I have a small agenda here. Basically, I'll first touch the base on the history and comment the Sportreact before the Sportreact Plus update. Our first focus in the first 2-3 years was to develop a stable hardware, and now we're putting more focus on the app. If we take a look about Sportreact a few months ago, we were missing all Plus features. So recently, we released the Plus features and leave the previous features basically free for all users. One thing that we locked over there is advanced analytics and option to save user data and basically track them over the time. So I will go quickly over the features that are part of the Sportreact Plus. And one of them, I will start first with the Community Hub. And I'm really proud of that. I hope you can see my interface on your screen as well. So right now I'm opening the Community Hub, and over there you can find a lot of different workouts made by our super users. Each workout, as you can see, has a video that shows you basically how to use the system. The beauty here is that you can just press start and it will start on your system. So we see a coach David here from Poland showing a soccer specific workouts. As I said, just press start and the workout will start on your system. So here you can find a library of a lot of different workouts, and it can just give you a lot of ideas on how to use the systems. I know that you all like to create your custom workouts, but maybe sometime you're in a rush, so you want to see how others are using the system and maybe get inspired. We can find a lot of hockey drills. Kudos to all coaches that share their workouts, and a special hi to Coach Ryan from Canada, who made those nice hockey workouts. He made a nice instructions on how to position the pods in the field, and also video of athletes performing a drill. What I'm really proud here is to see basically how a Sportreact can fit in a sport-specific training, especially here where we are using the Sportreact on ice. So, feel free to check the Community Hub. Also, I invite all of you guys to share your own workouts with the rest of the community. And there's a lot of cool updates coming down the road with a Sportreact Community Hub. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but yeah, really excited about where that can go. The next thing I want to show here and comment a little bit more is our NFC kit. So also with the Sportreact Plus, we introduced the NFC feature. So the NFC kit consists of two main parts. One of them is NFC reader, and the second one is NFC band. So how it works, I just connect my NFC reader to the app. And basically where I'm connecting the pods, over there, I can also connect my NFC reader. And basically I can allocate the band to each player profile, and the band can be reallocated multiple times. So just to show you how it works, I'm going to settings, teams and athletes, and here I'll find my U13 team. And over there, I can allocate the band to player profile. I can press an assign rest band, and now I need to align my band with a reader, and basically it will read this. Oh, sorry. Let's go this way. So there's a second way where you can go to accessorize this and then press on a pencil button. And here, let's select someone from, again, U13 team. Okay, Michael Brown. Now if I press start again, waiting for a few seconds, and that's it. Michael Brown is allocated to this band. Let's do the same with this band. I'll just use another player here. Let's go with Henry. Okay, that's it. I'll put my NFC reader back on the stand because it will be easier for me to scan the bands. Okay, so now you can, so basically it's pretty fast to allocate a band to the player profile. Each band has a nice logo over there and a small ID. So if you want to keep the bands in the gym, the athlete can just remember the ID. So next time when they're in, they can just grab their band. But again, it's not a problem if you need to reallocate it every time. Sometimes people are asking how many bands do we need? So if you're doing a training session of 5 athletes, if you want to reallocate the bands and allocate them to the profile before each training, then you can have only 5 bands. But if you want to have multiple, you can have, and then the athletes can bring it to the gym, but there's no problem if they lose it. You can simply create another one. So next thing I want to show here is how we can use the NFC band and how they can help you during your session. So I see 2 main benefits of the NFC reader. So one is, let's imagine that you have multiple stations. So you're performing some kind of a combine or doing some soccer specific stuff. One station is sprint, second station is 5-10-5 test, third one is, I don't know, some reaction drill. And you want at least to circle around and just go through the stations and perform the workout. In that case, basically everything they need to do is scan themselves, and that will start workout automatically. You will see in the another an example when I show that. What's the good thing over there is that the system automatically know who performed the workout, and the data is automatically saved. So you don't need to worry about selecting the right athlete before the workout. Of course, you can do that, and there is automatic mode that can speed up the things. But the NFC band basically just gives you more room to focus on a main part of the training instead of pressing and searching for the athletes in the app. And I'm just going to show you how it works. I'm going to open one example here. I'm going to activities, and let's say I want to perform, let's do some kind of a sprint test. I will take sprint test. Okay, so in order to start a test, we first need to align the gates. So basically, I just need to pair the red and yellow devices, and let's position them like this. Okay, so the first gate is here. That's the gate 0 and 1. Then we have the second gate, which is 2 and 3. I'm just following the instructions from the app. As you can see, app shows you if the gates are aligned. One cool thing we added with a recent update is that, I don't know if you can see it here, but basically if the gate is aligned, if I cross the beam, I can see the red color, and also app will show me the red color. There's also now a small audio output that you can hear when the gates are aligned. When the gates are aligned, you'll hear a small beep, which will tell you everything is good and you're ready to go. Okay, I'm going to add the last gate here. Gate 4 and 5. And now I can see the app. I can also control the strain of the gates. So if the gates are closed, you can use a low strain here. But if you're outdoor and you want to have a wide space between the gates, then you need to use medium power or high power. I can see that my gate 2 and 3 is not aligned, so they're not perfectly fit. So right now, everything is good. Okay, so instead of searching for the athlete here in the list and adding them to the list before the workout or adding the whole list, you can just simply scan yourself. You can just simply scan yourself on the NFC reader, and that will start workout automatic. So right now, I'm scanning myself here. And as you can see on my screen, that started the workout automatically. So now I need to run through the gate. Okay, that's it. Workout is done. If the next athlete want to perform the drill, he just can scan himself, and the same thing will happen again. Time starts, complete time, and time. And I can do it as many times as I want. So I will scan myself again, and this will start another split, another session, or another workout. If from some reason something went wrong, I can just scan myself again, and that will stop the workout. So this is how it works. Pretty easy, and you can use it on every workout you have in the Sportreact system. Any reaction workout, any timing system workout, any reactive agility workout, it will work really easy. So this is a quick intro about the NFC bands. And now I want to show you another cool feature while I have this cool setup here. It's a live leaderboard. So can you please move the screen to show basically the live leaderboard? Okay, in order to create a live leaderboard, when you go to the workout, you need to go to the live leaderboard. You need to turn on the leaderboard mode. And now we can create a new leaderboard. You can select which team is performing the workout. I will just select all teams. You can enter the name of the leaderboard, whatever, and you can select the date frame. So let's say if you want to include the data from the previous tests and the previous runs, you just select the date from, I don't know, 3 months ago. But if you just want to show today's data, then you can just select today's data. And now you need to press on save. I already have one leaderboard created. 233, is that correct? Yeah, okay, cool. So let's do it again. So right now I'm going to scan myself again. And I'm running to the start. I don't know if you can see it from the screen, but basically the time started. And now, as soon as I've done the workout, the data is displayed on the live leaderboard. This is a great way on how you can motivate your athletes. From what I learned so far and what I saw during the system testing, the kids, they just want to see instant results. That's what wakes the fighting spirit between them. And let's see how they skip form again. First, that's it. So this is a simple way on how you can create a live leaderboard that you can cast on any TV. One thing I missed to show you, excuse me on that, is once you create a live leaderboard in the section that I showed earlier, really important thing is this link. So basically you're opening that link on any browser. That browser can be external monitor, the TV, whatever. So you just open the link. Over there, you can customize the leaderboard. You can add your logo. You can change the leaderboard title. You can add a photos to leaderboard and change a lot of things over there. And there are also some cool updates coming on the leaderboard side, so stay tuned to hear that. Okay, so now when we are done with NFC kit, live leaderboard, and a community hub, we're coming to the analytics segment. And that's the most beautiful part about Sportreact PLUS, and that's something I'm really proud of. Give me a second, I will show you just to get those back, because I'll probably step on that. Okay, guys, so here you can see 4 different reports we have right now. There are also new reports coming. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But let's start with activity report. So let's imagine this situation. I'll just load the demo data. So on every app on your system, on the top right corner, you can see a C preview for each report. So you can see how we should like if you are collecting the data. And then of course, if you want easier to collect the data and make sure that the right data is collected, use the NFC bands. Okay, so let's imagine here, you have like 6 athletes, they performed a 40-yard dash. We had 8 lights or 4 timing gates, so we had a split on every 10 yards. If we know the distance between the gates and we can enter it during the workout customization process, and if we know the weight of the athlete, which we can enter on the athlete profile, then based on that information, we have all the variables to calculate average force, power, velocity, and acceleration. So that just gives us a lot of more information that we can use and track over the time. So in this activity report here, I'm comparing 6 past results from my 6 different players. I want to see the difference over there on a 40-yard dash. So on the top, I have 6 different athletes, and then there is a leaderboard. The leaderboard shows me how they are positioned, and the first and main variable that we are checking is the total time. You can also see over there how they are positioned across velocity, acceleration, force, and power. If you want to sort them by velocity, then you can just simply press on the velocity and we'll sort them like that. Summarizing all those values from the top leaderboard, everything goes down in a final scoreboard. So here you can see which athlete had the best performance, taking everything in consideration, all those variables from the top. Below that, there is a total time overview. Over there, you can see basically who had a best score. We are showing the score in a T-score format, a Z-score format, and a seconds. T-score basically ranks your athlete from 0 to 100. And over there, you can see a T-score overview. So we can see that the yellow player has the best score, 69. If I switch that to the seconds, we can see why he had a best score, because he had the lowest time, who was the fastest one. And then I can also use the Z-score overview, and here I can simply see who is above the average and who is below the average. Over there, if I expand to see more details, I can see a total times over each split. So we can see that, for example, yellow athlete was slower at the beginning, but at the end, he had the fastest speed at the end, the fastest time. What we can say, for example, for the orange one, because he was already, he was the consistent on the first two splits. Then the third split gave him a little bit more power, but at the end, he just slowed down again. Below that, there is a performance graph where you can see differences across those 5 different variables from the leaderboard and visually see the differences between those players. Below that, you can find the same overview for velocity, acceleration, force, and power. So for example, we can see how the power was going across those 3 splits. And again, as we can see, the player 1, the yellow player, the power was increasing across each split, which was not the case, for example, with the blue athlete, who had the best power in the third split so from the 20 to 30 meters, and then in the split from 30 to 40 meters, he got a lower power over there. So this was one report. The second one, which I really like, is athlete profile. So let's say you have your favorite, really promising athlete, and you really want to track his performance over the time. And you also want to compare him with a team and see how he compares over there. Here, I will show you how the setup looks like, and then I will load the demo data. So at the top, I need to select my athlete, and then I can select to which team I can compare him. Let's use team U13. And now I'm adding my workouts. So I will add the workouts, for example, 40-yard sprint, and I want to add the metric total time. And I can do the same. I can add more workouts over there, but I will just load the demo data just to skip the whole process. I'm now loading the demo data just to infill everything. Okay, so the demo data is loaded. So here I'm comparing Mason Garcia with U13 soccer team. I have my 5 workouts selected. Those 5 workouts will create this nice spider graph. Or there you can have 3 workouts. You can have 5, 6, whatever you choose. It can probably be, maybe the best use case will be to have your, test battery over there that you do for some kind of a combine. So in my case, I have 40-yard dash, 5-10-5, Y-shape agility test, simple reaction time, and spatial reaction time. As I said, based on those workouts that you selected, you can see the spider graph. So let's see what this spider graph tells you. The red color is the worst athlete, worst score, worst performance in your team. The green color is the best one, and the blue color is where your athlete is. So by looking at this graph, you can have a nice visual overview what are the good and weak points of his performance. And below is the trend line. So here I'm checking how he's progressing over the time. So let's say you're working with him 1 year and you're testing him every month, and you now want to see what's the progress or digress if that's the situation. So I can see a 40-yard sprint, there is a progress of 3%. 5-10-5 test, progress of 8.5%. Simple reaction time, digress 7.21%. What's the reason over there? We are obviously doing something wrong. Maybe there's, a cognitive fatigue or, whatever, but we should take care of that. And then we can see the Y agility test. Also, there is a nice progress. If I expand it, for example, let's expand a 40-yard dash. I can see historical data here. I can see all his previous sessions. And the one thing which is still in the beta phase, and we are working to upgrade that, is the comparison with the normative data. Which is fine. I can open it here. Okay, So for this test, we have a normative data. So if we compare this kid with the soccer players, we can see that he fits in the U10 to U14 team. So he is over there. He is in the average. He's not too fast. He's not too slow. He's where she should be. So this is one of my favorite reports. Also in this report, you can see personal best for this player. So if you press on view all, it will list you personal best for each workout. Okay, the next one is team analysis. So again, you're selecting your team on the top and you're selecting the workouts that you want to analyze. I'll just load the preview data, the demo data that we have here. So what this report gives you is basically the sense of how your whole team is progressing over the time. And then you can also select a specific time frame. So that, for example, if you're working with them for 12 months, you can see how they are progressing in the last 6 months compared to the first 6 months. Again, on the top, you select your workouts, and down below we have this already known trend line graph, which shows you how the time gets lower of the over the year and how they are progressing. So we can see that the full team progressed in 4.63%. It's really nice to have this data that can, give you the proof that you're going in a good direction. As you can see, those shaded areas are the worst and the best scores at that time. Cool thing over here is that for each workout down below, you can see a leaderboard, so you can see who is the best in that specific workouts in your team. And down, if you scroll down there, you scroll up to the end of the screen, you will see each workout. And then at the end, there's a final athlete scoreboard. Taking in consideration all those workouts that we selected on the top, it gives you basically a rank and a leaderboard who had the best performance. So from here, you can see who is the best player in your team. And over there is a nice visualization that shows you basically differences visually between them. The last one here is compare athletes. So again, on the top, you can select multiple athletes. And below that, you can select on which workouts you want to compare. So I'll just load the demo data again. And let's see what we have here. So I selected 5 different workouts. Again, they're the same: 40-yard dash, 5-10-5, simple reaction time, spatial reaction time, Y agility test. Based on that, I have 5 different leaderboards across those 6 selected athletes. So we can see, for example, James Martinez was first in a 40-yard dash, but in a simple reaction time, he was the 3rd one. So down below, we have athlete scoreboard, which summarize everything in a final scores and tell us who had the best performance over there. So we can see that James Martinez, even if he was in the 3rd, in the reaction workout, he took the 1st place. And he had a score of 54, and then Mason Garcia, 53 behind him. So that was a really close battle, but James Martinez was better at the end. Below that, there's a performance graph where you can visually compare them and see the differences between them across those 5 different workouts. So we can see, for example, James Martinez, 40-yard dash, 67 score, Mason Garcia, 53. 20-meter agility test, James Martinez scored 60, Mason Garcia, 56. So you can also visually see the differences by checking those graphs over there. So those are current reports that you can find in the app, and it's really cool when you dive deep into these analytics and unlock some cool insights that you can get from here. One of the things I'll talk a little bit more in the upcoming minutes is our future plans and the things we want to implement and we are working on right now. So they'll be there at the end of the summer. But before that, one of the cool things that we have with the Sportreact PLUS is the API integration with the third-party systems. So I'm proud to say that we recently partnered with the Rogue Daisy system, where if you're using the Rogue Daisy system as your athlete management system, you can simply connect Sportreact to it. So all the data that you have in the Sportreact system will be automatically transformed over there. Our goal is to connect as many systems and many platforms as we can to have, the whole environment connected. So this was a quick overview of the Sportreact Plus features. I missed some of them. There are also some smaller upgrades, for example, Excel export, which if you have Sportreact Plus will give you more information because it will export also the details about power, force, velocity, and so on. There are also some smaller updates on the customization side. So for example, if you are creating reaction workout and you want to follow green number 3, with the free mode, the symbols that will be around you will be just the numbers. But now with the Sportreact Plus, you can exactly control which symbols you want to have as destructors and so on. There are some smaller updates that we have with the Sportreact Plus as well. And now, before going to the Q&A session, I want to talk a little bit about future updates that are coming, that are right now in development mode, and we are testing them. Some of them came from the last webinar, so I hope someone will recommend something else. During the whole process of development of Sportreact, we were always listening to your feedback. We understand that's something that's important to the coaches, so we are listening that, adding to the pipeline, and then updating that in the app. And we did that with the last updates. So one big update I'm really proud of is a white mode. If you were using the Sportreact system outdoor, you probably saw how hard it is to see the symbols and everything on the screen because there is a black screen. There's a small contrast, and it's really hard to navigate through the app when there's a direct sunlight going to the tablet. And it's kind of a funny story how we developed that. We had in one part of our partnership with a Croatian soccer team, we were basically testing their youth programs, so U13, U14, U15, and we were testing them around the country. And we were missing the people to handle that. Everything was, fast-paced, and the deal was, the agreement came really fast and so on. So we took our development team on the field. First thing, of course, to help us with a human power, but second one, just to see how things work in a real environment. So the first thing they realized is how hard it is to navigate through the app. So the next update they did a few weeks after that is the white mode. So I'm really proud that finally the white mode will be out and you'll be able to see the symbols, to see everything on the app screen. Really nice, even if there's a direct sunlight out there. As you saw while I was showing you those reports in the app, every time I needed to select athlete, then select the workouts, and that process takes some time. So the next update that's coming over there is option to save the report. So once you customize the report, you select the workouts, you select the variables, you select the players, you will be able to save it. So the next time you don't need to go through that process. You can just save it to your reports, and next time when you press it, it will just load everything with a setup you want to have over there. One of the feedbacks we got during the first webinar where we presented our live leaderboard feature was one of the coaches asked, okay, so if my player is doing like 3 sprints in a row because I want to have 3 sprints and I want to have took the best time, will all of those results be on the leaderboard? And I was like, yes, they will be over there. But then we realized that's a mistake. We need to have only the best score on the leaderboard. So the small update over there, there'll no be multiple results over there, only best score from the athlete. It's a small update, but really nice. One of the things many of you asked, and I'm proud to introduce them and proud that we're going to release that, especially for you guys that have a larger teams, a larger number of athletes. Until now, actually until September, because that's the one where the release will happen. You need to create athlete profiles manually, one by one. And finally, there will be an Excel import feature where you can just enter the athletes in the block. So that's just save a lot of the time over there. one of the things on the community hub, which is, as you saw, when I opened the community hub, there was a lot of the workouts. We have a question. I don't know if we can, I'll be done in a few minutes, so then we can switch to the Q&A. Sorry for that. Just two small updates and that's it. Two small big updates. One of them is community hub, where we'll be able to sort the workouts by the sport, by the vertical, basically by the tags. So sometimes it's challenging to find the workout you have. So it will be nice and easy to filter them over there and find what you want to have over there. Two more, which are really big, and I will start first with the training plans. So the cool feature we are implementing in the app is a specific training plan, which will have a nice user interface, nice user experience, which will allow you to follow the specific training plan across the month. So you have month 1, week 1, day 1, day 2, day 3. Below that, there will be a different workouts. So everything you need to do is just follow the plan. So there will be a multiple plans, the tennis plan, speed and agility plan, soccer plan, and I'm really excited about that. If any of you guys would like to work with us on that, we'll be more than happy to discuss that. And the final one, and then we are going to the Q&A session. This one is my favorite, and I'm really proud of that. It's the 5th report we're going to have. That's individual player report. Let's imagine you're hosting a combine over there, or you have an open day where the kids are coming, and you're testing around 150 kids across 4 different stations. And now you want to share report with the parents. So this will finally be possible with the Sportreact. You'll be able to select the athlete, and you'll be able to create a link that you can share to the parent via WhatsApp, Viber, iMessage, whatever. Once they open the link with the local day browser, and they'll be able to see the stats of his kid, or it doesn't need to be a parent, it can be a scout. So I'm really proud of that. I think it will help a lot of you guys, and it will give you additional value to your training. So imagine training on a Sportreact and then sharing the report with the parents and doing that on a weekly basis. I believe everyone will be happy over there. So those are some updates we are going to release in September. And after that, we are going to work on a new update, which will be more related to AI things in the app. So as you can see, we're putting a more and more focus on the app, data, analytics, visualization, and interpretation. So stay tuned to see what's coming down after the summer. And yep, this was a quick few informations from my side, and I'll be happy to jump on a Q&A session right now and answer any of your questions. I'll just quickly open my mobile phone here, as I can also see the questions as well. So looking forward to hearing your questions. Someone had a question, so can we jump on it now? Oh, challenge mode. I didn't think about that. Excuse me, guys. sorry for missing that. Let's see what's the challenge mode. Okay, so the challenge mode is also a new feature of the Sportreact PLUS. I don't know why I missed that. Excuse me. So in the challenge mode, this is the beta. Some of you guys asked us, if we have multiple stations on the field, can we control all of them with one tablet? Unfortunately, we can. We need to have one tablet on one station. But we're getting there. So the challenge mode is intro to that. Basically, in the challenge mode, I can split my set on 2 parts. And there are 2 ways on how challenge mode works. So I have a split challenge mode and combined challenge mode. So let's start with combined challenge mode. Combined challenge mode will combine all 6 devices in one set. And here, I can choose athletes I want to that will compete over there. So let's just take 2 of them. So one of them will be searching for the blue color and reacting to the blue color, and the second one will be reacting to the red color. If I press start, let's see how it works. Okay, so imagine you have 2 players here. Maybe they're soccer players. One of them is trying to deactivate the light, second one is trying to block him, and so on. One athlete is searching for the blue color, and the second one is searching for the red color. As you can see, the app gives you the feedback, so you can see what's the score over there and how they're compared and what's the final result of the challenge mode. So this is a combined challenge mode. If we take a look at split challenge mode, then we need to split devices on the two parts. So the first 0, 1, and 2 devices are player 1, and 4, 3, and 5 are player 2. So over there, we can define duration. Duration can be, let's say, 10 or 15 signals. So which player hits the 10 signals first, is the champion. Or we can create a workout on the way to say, okay, we have a 30 seconds challenge, and let's see who will deactivate more lights. And let's see how that works. It's kind of similar. So one athlete is working on this station, and this athlete is working on this station. Okay, so 1-0 for the blue, 1-1. So I'm now doing both stations, but you can imagine how it should look like. And this is the score. Here in the challenge mode, then in the history data, if you go to analytics, you can see the history of the battles and see who win in those challenges. So as you can see, we touched the base a little bit here about dividing the sets into two groups. So this will be kind of intro on a way on how to control multiple stations with only one tablet. If you have 12 lights, then you can split them into two groups of 6, or if you have 4 lights, you can split them into two groups of 2. So sorry for missing this part, and I'm glad someone reminded me about that. Yeah, how many pads? We can go up to 12. We have a technical option to connect 18 pods, but we just at the moment limited that to the 12. So if you have 12 of them, you can have two groups of 6. I don't. Okay, anyone else has questions? I believe, guys, you have something to ask. If you don't want to add, right, raise your hand and we'll turn on your microphone. Seems I was clear. I can't believe that's true. Okay, have one?
Hey, Anto, great job on all the updates. Can you talk a little bit about what's coming down the pipe on the AI side of things? Just give us a high-level taste of things.
Oh, yeah. I'll try to stay short over there, but I'll give you a little bit of context over there. So one of the things we're going to over there is definitely provide insights on results in the analytics section. So instead of just reading the graphs, we are going to basically give you the comment from our side, what are the good points of your workouts, what are the weaknesses, and also based on that, recommend your workouts on how to increase your performance if you had a low performance on some specific elements. So that's one concept of the AI. That's the first thing we are going to implement, and also some smaller updates in the app, especially related to the support and customization options. So down the road, one of the things we want to have over there is just the prompt where you want to enter, I would like to have this kind of a workout, and the system will build that kind of a workout for you. So that will just open a lot of space for a lot of customization. So those are two things I can share for now. One of them is definitely related for the data analytics, where we are going to give you way more information than just nice graphs and overviews, data analytics, and then feature and the training recommendation based on your results. And the second one is just help and customability in the app. Have any other questions? Challenge called Thomas asking about that doing the same randomization. Yes, you can control in every workout. We have a different patterns that you can use. So in a general overview, you can define if you want to use a new pattern every time, or you want to have a specific pattern. And over there, you have option to choose between 1,000 different patterns. Let's say you perform the workout with a pattern number 2, 3, 4, and every time when you open the challenge mode and set the pattern on the 2, 3, 4, it will have the same pattern. Yeah, so multiple iPads, guys. Let's say I have 2 stations. I can divide my set. I have a set of 6, or let's say I have a set of 12. I can divide them into 3 groups of 4, or let's take this scenario here. If I divide those sets, so I have 1 station here, or let's say I have 1 timing gate here. So I'm just measuring 5, 10, 5 test. So 1 gate is enough. So I can have 3 stations, okay? I have 5, 10, 5 test here, 5, 10, 5 test here, and 5 test, 5 test here. Unfortunately, at the moment, we're not able to control multiple stations through the 1 tablet. But in that case, it will be necessary to connect the specific station with 1 tablet or mobile phone. So in this case, if we want to have 3 tracks or 3 stations, we need to have 3 mobile phones or tablets connected to them. So 1 station, 1 phone or tablet. The good thing here is that they all can be logged into the same account. So the data at the end will go to the central place and everything will be at 1 place. Yep, and actually you can see them in the app. So if you go, yeah, so the question was if there is a list of all symbols that are available in the app, you can see them in, we can share it later with you, but just to show you over there what we have. So we have signs, alphabet, smaller case, uppercase, numbers 0 to 9, numbers 10 to 99, and the symbols. In symbols, we have arrows in all directions, full square, smaller arrows, and some emojis. So there's more than 100 different shapes that you can use. Yeah, so the NFC, the same thing. NFC reader is connected to the tablet. So if you want to have 2 stations with the NFC, then you need to have 2 NFC reader. 1 NFC reader connected to the tablet at one first station, and the second NFC reader connected to the tablet at the second station. I don't know, guys, you can see the question, so I don't need to repeat the question? Okay, great. Guys, I'm warmed up right now. I can talk for hours. Just let me know. Sorry, Thomas, can you please give us a little bit more on you would like to see them, how they look on the pod, or what was your question over there? Can you please, yes? Yeah, so you can see the numbers here, and I will just quickly open the mathematic game because over there you can see the numbers with 2 points. I'll just try to be fast with this and just use some templates that I know that already have the symbols. So this here is mathematics. Over there you will see how we can show the symbols with, okay, so 65, 40. Let's see how this one works. I'm searching for the red number. It was 40 plus 26, and that's 66. Now I need to find it. It's over there. Check this out, how fast I am. 33 plus 50, 83. Oh, I'll stop because it could become harder. Yeah, so this is the way in how we show the numbers. Let me just quickly open another workout where you will see the signs and the, okay, letters. This will be this one. So in this one, I'm searching for red X. You'll see multiple letters in different colors. Red X here, red X here, here, and so on. So yeah, this was how they look. Sorry, can you repeat? What's pretty similar? Oh yeah, that's the trick. They need to be similar. So we even have a customers asking us to include a new and more complicated symbols. For example, imagine having the full square and then with I don't know, gap in the middle like we have on a device 4, and they want to see, you know, one small red dot, or if there are two small red dots. So some of them really wants to go into that challenging stuff. It's pretty obvious to see the difference between numbers over there, and it's hard with some spatial size, but that's why we integrated it. We can actually, we can define it, but we are a little bit limited with the resolution. So our screen over there is 7 by 7. So we have 49 pixels that we can control. So everything that fits in those 49 pixels, we can put in there. It's not yet in the pipeline, in this pipeline until the September. We are already in the process, but that's something we could integrate in the fourth quarter. We already had requests over there, especially with the smaller changes. For example, you know, having the arrow with the small parts in a red color or small parts in a blue color. So we already heard for that. It's somewhere in the pipeline. I'm not sure where it is, but yeah, there will be some update with the symbols, definitely. And with also with the cognitive modes. Yes, of course. So any workout that you have over there, you can see the data for it. And basically the workouts I was using here, 40 dash was my custom workout. Okay, 5-10-5 was template. Spatial reaction time was my custom workout. So yeah, any workout that you create and save, you can see advanced analytics for it. Just please know that for some of them, we don't have the comparison with the normative data. So for some custom workouts, we'll not be able to give you comparison. Yeah, unfortunately, at the moment, no. So the challenge mode at the moment is only using the follow one mode, where we are just reacting to one specific color at the moment. Probably down the road there will be some updates to allow multiple options, but then that will probably be merged with the multiple stations controlled by one tablet. We have any other questions? Yeah, so regarding the new equipment, the thing that we are probably going to introduce are smaller accessorizers. For example, soccer rebounders, cones, and stuff like that. But nothing related to the Sportreact, nothing related to accelerometers, jumps, measurements, and stuff like that. We did a crazy job on the hardware side here, and we want to put more focus on the app. But you know, who knows where this can go? But yeah, one of the updates on the hardware side are definitely some accessorizers.
Awesome.
Mhm.
How does the high sensor works?
Mhm.
What's the best situation outside the product figures out?
Okay, yeah, so you need to be a little bit careful with the infrared sensor. Let me just give you a sense of it, what I'm talking right now. Okay, I'm just go to the reaction system and follow one. Okay, so in the activation options, you can choose across multiple sensors. One of them is a classic distance sensors where you can adjust the distance up to 25 centimeters. But a second one is, it's kind of hidden because it's still in development phase. We are fine tuning it, but I can enable it by pressing on this checkbox, use long range infrared sensors. So it's important to mention that there are two infrared sensors inside. One, it has a small range, which will be a range up to 30%. So everything up to 30% is using a smaller LED diode and will give you a small range. So I'll put it on 29. And now if I came close, you can see what's the range. I can test it like this. Everything above 30% is using a stronger LED diode, and we are working on fine tuning the distance here. But let's just give you a sense of distance of 48%. So 48% is, this is around, I don't know, 60 centimeters or something like that. But let's see what is 78%. It's catching me already here. So this is, you can see that there's a big difference. So you need to test it before the workout and find the right distance that works for you. If you put it on, let's say, I don't know, 100%, this will catch me probably on 3 meters or something like that. Yeah. Let's see. Do we have any other questions? Or you want me to beat my high score over there? Okay, I think that's it. If you guys have any more questions, let us know via email. And Hassan, if we can help you, if you have any issues, please let us know. We have a new person in our support team, so he'll be happy to support you. Thank you guys all for joining this webinar. I hope it was interesting. You learned something and you're a little bit more motivated about using your Sportreact system. For all of you that attended this webinar, we'll make sure to share with you a special prize if you decide to get a Sportreact PLUS, and really appreciate your time. And thanks for being here. Thanks for all of your suggestions, and thanks for following our work, and stay tuned to see where the Sportreact will go. Thanks for joining.